If the word only visits your life occasionally, it will only shape your life occasionally. Casual exposure produces shallow roots. Scripture does not call you to visit the word, it calls you to live in it. In this lesson, you'll receive a clear understanding of what a biblical meditation actually is, insight into why obedience is tied to prosperity in Scripture, and a call to build a word-centered lifestyle, not a word-centered moment. Psalms 1 verse 2 says, "But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season." The blessed person here is not described as someone who occasionally reads Scripture. He delights in it. And because he delights in it, he meditates on it continually. Meditation in Scripture is not emptying the mind, it's filling the mind with truth. It is turning to the word over and over again, repeatedly, rehearsing it, speaking it, applying it. This sustained engagement produces rootedness, and rootedness produces fruit. You cannot meditate on what you do not value. If Scripture feels distant, meditation will feel forced. But delight grows as you begin to see the word as revelation, not restriction. It reveals who God is, what he values, who you are becoming. Meditation is not merely reading more, it's thinking biblically throughout the day. Many believers want the fruit of Psalm chapter 1 without the rhythm of Psalms chapter 1. They want stability without saturation, growth without repetition, clarity without reflection. If Scripture only enters your mind briefly, do not be surprised when culture dominates your thinking. Rootedness is not accidental, it's cultivated. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 says, "This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success." Yahweh did not command Joshua to read it occasionally. He commanded continuous engagement. Joshua was leading a nation through pressure, conflict, and decision making. We men are leading ourselves and families through pressure, conflict, and decision making. The only way to remain aligned was saturation in the word. Meditation here includes speaking the word, reflecting on it, and measuring decisions against it. Day and night describes this rhythm, this nonstop reading, if you will. Morning shapes the direction, night reinforces that alignment. Biblical meditation is practical. It means recalling Scripture during decisions, evaluating emotions through truth, returning mentally to what God has spoken. This transforms the Scriptures from an activity to a framework of how we think and how we live through life. The word becomes the lens through which life is interpreted. If your primary framework comes from news cycles, from social media, or cultural commentary, you can believe that it's those voices that will shape your reactions more than the environment of Scripture. You cannot meditate on the word if your mind is already saturated with noise. If culture occupies your mental space day and night, culture will disciple you. John chapter 15 verse 7, Yeshua is speaking, and he says, "If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you." Abiding is not occasional contact. It's sustained connection. Yeshua connects abiding in him with his words abiding in you. This means his teaching must dwell and live within you continuously, shaping your desires, shaping your prayers and your decisions, how you think and how you live through life. A word-centered life is not hyper-religious performance. It's stability. It looks like speaking truth in everyday conversations, filtering choices through Scripture, revisiting verses throughout the day, interpreting experiences through biblical categories and topics. Meditation moves Scripture from event to environment. When pressure rises, what you have rehearsed surfaces. If you rehearse scripture daily, scripture rises. If you rehearse cultural narratives daily, those narratives will rise instead. Your reflexes reveal your training. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Transformation happens through renewal of thinking. Meditation renews the mind by repeatedly exposing it to truth. Without renewal, conformity is inevitable and automatic. The world does not need your permission to shape you. It only needs your inattention. It only needs that you don't be intentional in how you're going about your day. Just continue to be without any intentional life and any intentional focus, and the world will shape you the way it wants. Replacing worldly intake does not mean isolation. It means intentional reduction. Meditation requires margin, mental space to reflect. If every quiet moment is filled with distraction, meditation becomes nearly impossible. How are you handling those moments? Are you clicking through the phone or turning on some music? Many say they want transformation, but protect the very habits that prevent it. Endless scrolling, constant entertainment, unfiltered consumption. If you will not guard your mental diet, you will not sustain biblical meditation. You become what you rehearse. You are what you eat. You cannot be surprised, brother. If you are struggling with worldly temptations and worldly thinking, if you are consuming worldly content in the masses. Here's the application. Ask yourself, what dominates my mental space day and night? Do I revisit scripture after reading it, or does it disappear from my thinking? What decisions would change if I constantly measured them against the word? Meditation, brothers, exposes your allegiance. Here's the action steps. Over the next few days, choose one short passage, read it in the morning, write one phrase on a note or a card, revisit it at midday, revisit it when you sleep. Build a rhythm before you start building volume, depth before breadth. Meditation is not a short-term practice. It's a lifelong pattern. In the next lesson, we will confront what it means to remain in the Word all the days of your life and why that consistency protects humility and faithfulness.